as every day, we have the special pleasure to be talking to not only the tournament director of the Hogeveen tournament, but also the 7 times Dutch champion, former world top 10 player, Grandmaster Loek van Wely is going to join us. Loek, can you hear us, see us, anything?
Yeah, I can see you. Nice having me.
Do you say nice having me?
Yeah, so that's the correct expression, right?
How are things in Hogeveen? Everything under control?
Yeah, more or less. But now I see the picture of Jan Smeets. What is this about?
We prepared a very special segment for this show, so we have something to discuss with you. We prepared a list of the top 10 best Dutch chess players of all time. And it's going to be interesting to get your opinion. And let's jump right into it. At number 10, we have none other than Jan Smeets. Jan Smeets, more or less retired nowadays.
His face is good.
It's number 10, it's going to get worse, or better. More or less retired nowadays, but he's a former Dutch champion, reached a peak rating of 2680. And for me, he's the most prominent of this generation. Not the very young guys, but these guys, Stelwagen, Verle, Lamy, Smeets. I could only have one of them on the list, so I chose Smeets. But we'll have plenty of time to argue about it.
Yeah, actually, Jan Smeets, I always thought he was a very promising player, and until he lost this game against one guy from the Dominican Republic who was wearing some sunglasses. After that, it was like just going downhill. And I think he mentally couldn't cope with that anymore.
Yeah, and then he retired. He properly retired, not like you guys, but he's really not playing a lot anymore.
Well, he's now he's playing on the stock market right now, and. Yeah. He hasn't been fired yet, but well, I mean, I'm not sure he really likes it. This kind of, I mean, it's completely different than life as a chess player.
Tell me about it. At number 9, another very tough decision. We have none other than your old friend John van der Wiel.
John who?
Van der Wiel?
Okay.
I wasn't sure because. I only got to know John when he was no longer a top player, but I've been told that in the late 80s he was around 2590, which was a huge rate by then, and he had some successes in tournaments. So another tricky question, what do you think? Van der Wiel or Van der Stern, who was the stronger player historically?
Okay, they both had their shining moments, so it's hard to say. I mean, is this between place 8 and 9, or what is it about?
No, I decided I could only have one Van der on the list, so I was either Van der Wiel or Van der Stern.
Okay, so Johnny Boy, he was kind of aggressive player, but somewhere along the way he lost his balls. I don't know what happened to him, and well, and then he dropped his rating because he just wants to make a draw, you know. So, and well, I mean, basically, he's just there to have some fun. So, but before he was quite aggressive and tactical player, but he gets a bit lazy.
Let's move on to number 8, another old rival compatriot of yours, none other than Sergei Tivyakov.
Oh my goodness.
Would you count him as a Dutch player,
vintage,
first of all?
Vintage TV. But no, Sergei he's a good player, and I recently we shared first the championships when I beat him in the playoff. So, and well, I mean, he has good understanding of chess. However, he's playing a bit. He's preying too much on the weaker players, and he's not really trying to beat the stronger guy. So, yeah, I mean, he's not. He's very good against, let's say, against the fish.
Of course, originally from Russia, but he's been representing Holland for a while, so we count him as a Dutch player nowadays, right?
Yeah, okay. Russia can have him back, no problem. Also.
What about Ivan Sokolov? You didn't include him.
Well, first of all, no spoilers. We haven't made it through the list yet. And secondly, that's true because I wasn't sure if he's still playing for Holland or if he is a Dutch player at this point in time. Is Ivan representing Holland at the moment?
Well, yeah, he has been switching lists from time to time when it suits him, and right now he's not very active because he's a coach in United Arab Emirates. So, but yeah, he's still around, but officially as a Dutch. But who knows? I mean, maybe soon he becomes a Muslim brother. I don't know.
Look, we made also a top 10 list of the best 10 coaches from Holland.
Yeah.
Do you
What
have
about
any
We'll get into that
remarks
tomorrow.
about-
Let's get through our list first, and then we can discuss Chuchilov's place in Luke's coaching list. We'll get to that tomorrow. At number 7, we have another player originally from the Soviet Union, Gena Sosonko.
Yeah, Ghana was good, and he was very theoretical, and but I guess times have changed a lot. He understood chess very well. He was a trainer of Tal, and well, what to say? It was not an easy opponent, but when it was getting very messy, then it was normally getting the upper hand.
Of course, nowadays he's more known as a writer. There we see his picture with Viktor Korchnoi. Sosonko is on the left. But in his
Yeah.
day, I think he won some Vikings, won some Dutch championships, so he has some results.
Yeah, he's a very witty guy, so he's quite a cool guy.
Right. Certainly also a factor what they contributed to chess culture in general, and Sosonko, some great books, some great writing for new in chess, certainly deserve to make the list. Number 6, old rival of yours, not around for a while, Jeroen Piquet. Where's he?
Yeah. Jeroen is now having a good time under the sun in Monaco, I guess. He's working in. I don't know what he's exactly doing. I guess he's managing some huge few $billion fund or whatever, and he's still there. So I guess he didn't get fired. So he was a very gifted player as well. So and he was like my buddy back in the days. But then unfortunately he quit, and then well, I had to do it with Ivan Sokolov and Sergei Tivyakov.
Yeah. Piquet had a lot of good results in the 1990s and then suddenly quit chess, I believe, in 2001 to go work for Joop van Oosterroom, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean, he used to play all those Amber tournaments, and he was playing a few matches, and yeah, I mean, he was but I think maybe he didn't like any the tension in the chess world. Always this uncertainty, and I mean, you have to deal with that, and okay, he has a family to take care of, so these kind of things.
Who can blame him? Pity he's not around anymore, though. I used to play a lot with him on ICC. He was a very strong blitz player, that guy. Number 5, one of my personal favorites. It's not you yet, which is good since you're moving up the list. So, Jan Hein Donner.
I never met him. I loved his book. I mean, the King. This was a great book to read, but chess-wise, I was never really impressed by him.
I gotta tell you, the main reason I put him so highly is because I also loved his book, and I thought everybody did, and it's a great contribution to chess literature, basically. It's one of the biggest classics out there. Have you read it, Paco?
No.
The King. It's very, very recommended.
The King.
Yeah, I mean, I even put it on my Dutch literature list. Nevertheless, I failed my Dutch exam, needless to say.
No surprises there. Still, he was also a strong grandmaster for his times. Historically, he had a rating in this historical rating list, 2630. Had some serious tournament successes. And I believe There's little doubt he was the strongest Dutch player in 50s,
Yeah.
60s. I'm not quite sure when.
But I think he went into history as the first grandmaster who lost to a Chinese.
Sure, could be. Common nowadays, but yeah, not so common 30, 40 years ago, yeah?
Yeah.
Then at number 4, guess who it is? It's Loek van Wely.
That low.
It's pretty high.
Well, I'm wondering who's on 3 then.
Yeah. Not that many choices left. Of course, we've spoken plenty about Luke, 7-time Dutch champion, former top 10 player in the world. Was a very tough decision if number 3 or number 4, but I thought we need some controversy, so I put you on number 4, so we have something to talk about. Yeah?
I voted for number 5 actually, but
So you
I
didn't
can't
know
even
any other
imagine
player, you
who's
just
on,
said.
who's on 3.
no, just to annoy you. I mean, no special reason, but
Probably you leave number 3 blank, yeah?
No, we have someone at number 3. Let's go there. It's a guy actually playing in this tournament, Anish Giri.
Yeah?
He's
Yeah.
rated 2775. I mean, like, it's the highest rating ever reached by a Dutch player by far.
Yeah, that's true. Well, he's of course if he continues like this, he's going to be top 5 or world champion contender. That's for sure. Yeah, I mean, but he still has to show it that he can beat the guys like Aronian, Caruana, and Carlsen. Yeah, that he can really hunt for them. But against other guys, he's pretty confident right now. Yeah, I like the kid. He's a cool guy. So I mean, but okay, to put him already on 3, it's a bit too much, no?
I don't know. I'm not sure if we can blame him that he's only 20 and he has most of his career ahead of him. Because if we're speaking about a Dutch list, yeah, it was a tough decision with you. But else, it's hard to argue with what he's achieved already, especially the rating number 7 in the world. It's quite special for a Dutch player, right?
Yeah, that's definitely true. I mean, it's very strange that in Holland we didn't have any strong players coming up from, let's say, because we have quite some good training system in Holland, but somehow maybe the mentality is a bit too soft in general. And I think since Anish he's half Russian and half Nepalese, so maybe, I mean, that might have helped him something.
Yeah, in my opinion, in Holland it's a similar problem, like in Germany, for example. There's a lot of talented guys, but then there's a lot of options. When they're like 20, they start studying, there's decent jobs out there with more job security. So a lot of the guys, they become strong players, but they don't go through with it, right?
Yeah, that's true. And also in other countries, basically, chess is a real way to escape from misery. And that's why in guys like in Holland, they don't take it so seriously, or if they lose, it's not the end of the world yet. And so if you look at some Russian guys or Chinese guys, or they really have to fight hard.
Spanish
And
guys.
especially Spanish guys, when there's a crisis. Look at Paco, yeah.
we have an unemployment rate something like 25%. So it's a great thing to be a chess player.
And that includes you or not? I am a little bit curious about that.
I'm working a lot,
Let's get through our list. Number 2, no surprises there. We're down to the top 2 spots. The best in the West. Number 2 in the world, Jan Timman.
Yeah, that's kind of. I mean, I would. Okay, of course I know Jan personally. I mean, like, I rate him actually higher than Max Euler. Probably put him on 1, but okay, that's because Well, maybe because simply Max Euwe is one of the most underrated world champions, or maybe because I never studied his games. Mm, but okay, I like Jan's style. He's he he has written a lot of nice books, so that's why I I don't like that he is sometimes playing some weak opens where he's getting butchered by some 2300 player. But that's I think is not good for his image. Uh, but yeah, he did a lot for Dutch chess, that's for sure.
Also, one of my favorite books, it's an old book, I think in English it's called The Art of Analysis, where he just analyzes games. It's a book I read as a kid. It's tremendous work, and his results, of course, speak for themselves.
Yeah,
Number two in
Jan
the world.
was always a very creative player, and not maybe not completely correct, because he's also fond of making endgame studies. And if you check them with computer, I mean the naked truth is revealed, but they look nice, that's for sure.
On the top spot, no surprise there either, you just mentioned him. We have the only Dutch world champion, Max Euwe.
Yeah, that's a bit. It's a pity that you guys are so predictable. You put the world champion on one, yeah.
You
I mean,
can't
come on,
argue with
guys.
the world champion.
Yeah, but times have changed. Huh? I mean, back in the days, you had like 2 or 3 contenders, and just one. Actually, it was not even a proper world championship cycle. You just have to put up the money, and then you can challenge somebody. So basically, I mean, of course, he was at that time probably the best, but I mean, it cannot be compared about if you're the best right now.
Yeah, but that always is true with history, right? Like chess level goes up, and of course it becomes more professional and more
It's
tricky.
not his fault also.
Yeah. He did beat Ayechin. I mean, had he lost to Ayechin, I don't think he would have made the top spot. But if you beat Ayechin and become world champion, I don't know.
Yeah, but he did write some good books as well. I mean,
True.
I mean, he was a very scientific guy, and I think maybe that's why he had kind of people think a bit that guy's maybe a bit boring or whatever. But the guy was very methodical, that's for sure.
And also, if we talk influence in chess history, I believe he was also FIDE president, which, okay, for good or bad, but I think he's remembered as one of the better FIDE presidents. That's correct, or am I mixing stuff up?
Yeah, but in general, be FIDE president, it cannot be a plus.
Okay, fair enough. So that's our list of the best Dutch chess players of all time. This is a Dutch tournament, of course, Hogeveen, also meant to promote Dutch chess a little bit, including Giri and Timon. Is there anybody you're missing on the list, Luke?
No, it's just mainly the order of the list. It's kind of bothering me a bit, but I think I have to make a list of the best German players ever. I'll make a top 100. Maybe you're in there as well.
I'm not sure if I can make the top 100, but yeah. Do your thing. We can do that tomorrow, and we deal with the Spanish players.
Yeah, we have.
Okay, clearly Roy Lopez and Arturo Pomar.
Capablanca was Spanish when he was born. Yeah, I know the Cubans will try to kill me after saying that. But
Yeah,
Capablanca
but,
was in Spain when he was born, but then it switched to Cuba, I think. No?
Oh, okay.
But
was
Jan,
Cuba
maybe
when
I can do you a
Yugoslavia.
favor. I can put you in this top 100 list. I can put you one place ahead of Arkady Naidic. Maybe that's not a big deal for me.
But if I'm ahead of Arkady Naidic, I'm clearly number one. Yeah, I mean, like, whom else would you even put?
You'll be on place 0.
Place 0 even. Yeah. Even better. No, feel free to come up with your own list. Yeah, this 3 or 4 spot and 1 and 2 spot, I admit, are tough decisions. And also on the lower ranks, you can make a case for pretty much anybody. Yeah, number 10, okay, if you go back a little bit in history, you can choose Van der Stern. You can choose Van Oosteroom if you value correspondence chess. You can choose Jaap Amish if you value social media activities. I mean, a lot of options.
Yeah. Oh, you even forgot about Mr. Chess in Holland.
Who's that?
Hans Beum.
Right, but he's not even a grandmaster.
Well, nor is Jaap Amish.
That's true, that's true.
Arjen Robben also. Is on the list? No. Arjen Robben is
Does Arjen
football.
Robben play chess?
Paco, you're losing it.
I don't think you can flop in chess, yes? I'm not sure it's his
Yeah.
kind of game. Shall we have, before we let Luke go, a quick look at the games that are going on? Let's get rid of this over picture, the world champion from 1935, and update our Shirov Giri game.
Sure, let's have a look at that.
Not sure we have a lot of moves though. I'll briefly double check. After Rook AC1, C4, it looks like.
Yeah, we predicted a lot or not. I don't know.
Not sure how much. So he played this move Rook AC1, which we weren't big fans of, because then after C4 it felt like Black achieved what he wanted. Knight D2 has been played, B5, Bishop to F3. Is that right? Let me double check. Yeah. And Queen to E7.
Yeah, it's I don't know what Shiro had in mind, but I think Rook FC1 is the move which I would play.
Yeah, we were mainly expecting B3 just to stop this C4 idea altogether.
Well, you can play Rook FC1, and if Black goes C4, you can play A4,
Yeah, let's say
And
A6,
and the A6 you play B3.
B5.
Yeah, and then you go you take on C4.
And C4, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm always scared about allowing this D takes C4, but maybe it's too risky for Black here, yeah?
Yeah, D takes C4 shouldn't work because I will get some pressure on B5.
Okay. So let's say B takes C.
Yeah, and then I just put the rook on the B file, and it's typical Kramnik style game. You put the pawn on A5, and you try to get the knight to C3. Bishop goes to D1.
Yeah, this is very similar to my game against Leko. Yeah. It's very similar.
Yeah. And here it's just easy game for white.
Yeah, that's interesting. But yeah, the strange thing is it's clear you want to use your rooks on the queen side, and after rook AC1 it's not so simple anymore somehow, right?
Yeah.
So this is the position they have on the board after queen to E7. Looks to me like Anish is comfortable. He can think about A5, B4 or knight F6, eyeing this E4 square. I
Yeah,
like this
actually,
position.
right now I prefer black, but simply because I think white is soon forced to do something with E4 or anything, because black's plan is very simple. You just push your queen side.
What's your prediction? Is Anish gonna win his third game in a row?
Yeah, it is.
Let's have a look at the other game. Bardur Jobava against Jan Timman. And we had a feeling Jobava might have taken some liberties in the opening, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, he now after winning the first game, maybe he feels a bit more confident and he starts to do his usual stuff, like taking liberties in the opening. But well, I mean, there's not much play for black. White is in control, and well, maybe he can mix it up somehow, but I don't see how exactly.
Yeah. Last move we have on the screen here is the move knight a6. I think Timman just played 17 rook to e1.
What is the point of rook fd1 actually? I couldn't understand that.
Not sure. Maybe he was afraid if he goes rook e1 immediately, some queen f5 can be annoying at some point. Also not sure. Maybe.
Shouldn't be, yeah.
Interesting. Rook fd1, knight a6, rook e1.
Looks like white is better, right?
White is better. I'm not sure that white is going to win. I would put the money on a draw.
So you're saying a Giri win and a Timon draw.
That's right.
Paco, you want action on these predictions?
Well, I quite agree with him actually. I think it's
Too
Timon
bad.
is a bit of a favorite maybe, but I'm not sure he played very precise actually. This rook
Well-
d1, rook e1.
I mean, the situation is very simple because Alexei, I think he will desperately try to get back into the match, and that's his style. So he will play like a do or die. Although, well, d4 is maybe it looks like not the way to play for win, but I mean, I'm playing d4 to play for win, and so does and Alexei. Whatever he plays, he's playing to win. But he might push it too much, and I'm not sure. Well, in general, I don't like the type of position he got.
Also, even if he wants to push, there's not so many fronts where he can push, right? e4 is stopped at the moment. He can't do much on the queen side, while Anish has much easier play with a5, b4.
Yeah, I mean, there is some plan like to play, let's say, something like queen a5, knight b1, knight c3
Oh,
to
that's a move.
stop the guy for a while. But
Tempted to try to replicate your plan, but it's probably not a good idea. Go knight b8, knight c3, knight c6. Unfortunately, I'm losing after queen b6.
Or knight d5 also.
Yeah, okay, even that. Doesn't work.
so, what's the verdict after knight c3?
No, okay, but any move. No? I mean, queen a5, a6, for example.
Okay, knight
Knight
b1.
b1. Okay, well, I don't see any threats, so I will just go knight f6, for example.
Why knight? Yeah, knight d5. Yeah, is good. Yeah.
Yeah. So knight b1, knight f6.
Knight
you
f6,
say?
yeah.
Knight c3.
Knight
let's
c3,
say.
let's say queen d6, for example.
I'm also a bit tempted to play queen d8.
d8 is a
actually.
possible move as well.
And then queen b4, maybe some
I don't
queen
see a
d6.
threat.
Queen d6.
Threat b3 he wants to play also.
No. At least the queen on a5 stops this a5 b4. Isn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, rook f e8, rook e7. I think black can improve his position much better, much easier than white.
Are you sure?
I'm, well, it looks.
I mean,
just
I
good.
could play queen b4 now.
Queen b4. Okay, rook f d8. If want to take, you can take.
Yeah, it's a bit okay. This looks a bit drawish somehow.
Well, it is drawish, but still preferable for black, I think.
Yeah, black has some space. Huh?
Some space, easier play. Eh?
Mm-hmm.
But of course, I mean, well, it should be around equal, but just seems easier to me to play with black.
Yeah, and actually, what's more important that this kind of position Alexei doesn't really like.
Not so many active options, yeah, or stuff to calculate. We'll see how it goes. So the 2700 players or former 2700 players agree on a Giri win and a Timon draw.
Yeah, okay. Giri win is a bit
Yeah, I mean,
risky
Yeah, it's a risky
prediction,
guess.
but let's push it a bit, yeah.
I gotta predict something at least.
Yeah.
I think it's a draw is still more common than so more normal the result than a lose by Sheriff here.
Well, you can have two draws and Luke will take a Giri win.
Yeah, I mean, two draws is more normal. I think. I don't think the most normal is that Sheriff will lose here. But well,
I think we have to go off the air to negotiate the exact terms of these predictions. Luke,
you
anything
have
else you want to share with the viewers as the tournament director?
What about the bubble? Look, sorry to interrupt you. Do you have any views on the bubble? Yeah. Any?
The bubble for that's there are basically two options. Either there's some kind of light bubble which is just blocking your way, or it could be the famous Tiviakov theory, the bubble that he claims that every human in the universe has a some kind of light bubble which is following him all over the world. So this could be Alexei's bubble today. So I don't know if Alexei is happy with that, but that could be a theory. But probably it's just a bubble which is just blocking your view. Yeah.
Sounds more likely. 'Cause how does a light bubble follow you around? If you travel, how does a light bubble travel?
I'll put you in contact with TV if you don't mind. He will be happy to explain you the details and also how to enter the parallel worlds. He can also tell you where's the secret gate.
Sounds like a great guest for our show. Is he around? We should have him on and explain all this stuff.
Yeah, although you know that this guy, he had a theory about the parallel world, which and then one day I came to him and I told him that I had proof that the parallel world exists. And he was kind of amazed, shocked or whatever, but then I showed him the video and then he knew what I was talking about. But I will show you one day as well.
I've seen the video with a Tiviakov doppelganger in case of our viewers don't know what we're talking about. Not sure we can play it on the show, but there was some resemblance.
I sent it to you, right, or what?
Probably, yeah. I don't think Googling Tiviakov doppelganger got me there, but I'm not quite sure. Maybe I got it from Smates.
Smates got it from me, yeah.
Anyway, thanks a lot, Loek van Wely. Always a pleasure to have you on. I guess we'll see you later today or tomorrow, yeah? I mean, looks like you have a bit more time on your hands now.
Yeah, now things are under control, and well, first of all, I have to think about the impact of this session that's number 4 in Holland all times, which came like a shock to me. So I have to get over it.
You felt it was too much more honor than you deserve, basically. I mean.
Yeah, something like that. You're close.
Could you be number 1, or do you find it possible, or it's too much number 1?
No, not number 1. Definitely, I rate Tim on higher, and I understand that Geary he's doing very well, but he's just there for a few years. His impact is still not big enough. So
number 2, let's say.
So and he, and Euro, okay, for what it's worth, is still world champion. So I mean, it's a bit too early to draw conclusions, but but I mean, Geary, he's on the right way.
Let's hope we can get him on the show later on. We can think where he sees himself in Dutch chess. Maybe he's going to claim he's obviously number 1 because he's the highest rated. I'm not quite sure. But I do agree that you have a point, of course, since he's only been on the scene for like 3-4 years.
Yeah, and don't forget that the guy never won the Dutch championships when I was around.
Oh, that's also true. Has he played?
Yeah, we played once, and then I also didn't win.
Okay. That doesn't help your case all that much. We'll take it into consideration. All right, thanks, Luke. We'll go back talking nonsense, and we'll catch up with you later, eh?
Yeah, good luck. I trust you guys. You all manage.
It's gonna be tough, but we'll try.
Yeah.
Grandmaster
Okay.
Loek van Wely, the tournament director in Hogeveen, everybody. Thank you.